Hey guys! Today I am super excited because for the first time in my life I'm going to weld. I watched around 2 hours of different tutorial videos on YouTube and feel that I am ready to try out stick welding. The mission is to build a fence on this balcony and the vision is to practice welding. Here I have material and here I have the tools. This video will show what results can I achieve with the cheapest welding equipment and no experience. So prepare yourself for some rookie tips and ugly welds. Let's get started! I think we shall start with the tools. Here I have the tools which I already had. And here are the tools I bought for welding work. They cost me around 200 euros. The most important tool is the welding machine. I bought it for around 100 euros on Amazon because many YouTubers have tested this out and it is worth the money. For stick welding I need electrodes. For my project the 7018 and 2.5 mm thickness should work the best. Here are magnets. For eye protection I have a mask. Cost me around 30 euros. Relatively cheap, but not the cheapest one, since it has the automatic darkening system. And my wife is actually same hot as this chick here, just saying. And here are gloves. They are pretty thick and uncomfortable because they have some extra layer of Kevlar inside. For stick welding you need some thick gloves to protect your hands from sparks. On my mask I have 3 regulating buttons. One is here and 2 are here. So I figured out that this one I can turn it on like so. Now it is turned on and then I just placed the mask on head and watched sun and checked if it is working. Like so. And it is darkening, but only darkening for some 2 seconds. I hope that while welding it is darkening longer. Let's check it out. For the testing I placed here like 2 scrap metals and my plan is to weld this part here. So I removed the rust with wire brush and basically what I gonna do, I will support with one hand this rod and try to get sparks. So, guys, now I am starting to get nervous. Okay, now I am totally ready. I will turn on the machine from here. And it started to make some noise. It means that ventilation is working. And then I regulate from this button to 76. Internet recommends 70, but since this is Chinese product, then I think their measurements are too optimistic. So let's try out. So okay guys, this is my first weld and actually it's not even weld. So as I watched from YouTube, then amperage is too low when this happens, that rod is sticking to metal. So next one I will put amperage on 85 and try again. Let's try again. So take a look. This is my first made weld. Very ugly, very ugly. But you know, oh, it's very hot. Ouch. But you know, up, it's holding. Yeah, cool. So this is how it looks. Actually, I am so happy. Okay, I will practice more and then I will explain what tricky things need to know to properly weld. Hopefully next weld gonna be cleaner and stronger also. So, what happened yesterday? As you've seen, then stick welding became sticky welding. So I wasted around 10 electrodes to drill my skills on this scrap metal. And finally, I got my first weld here. And then I practiced another one. So it's actually very much more trickier than I thought. After many hours of practicing, I decided that now it is time to make some real weld on profiles. And here you can see the result. It is very ugly, but I tested and it is hard enough. So, as you can see, then here and here actually is very nice weld, like few centimeters. So target is to practice more until I can make this kind of weld. So I will drill here a hole and anchor this point like here in the wall. So it's gonna be like so. And then I have 1, 2, 3 and 4 plates here. And now I'm gonna weld like that. So then here gonna be legs for the fence. So here you can see I have set up one profile. So here is welding machine. Yesterday I tested it out and 100 amps worked best for me. Here I have negative connection to this profile, and here I use magnet to support this plate. And additionally, I will grind this area where I'm gonna weld with user grinder. Okay, now I'm gonna explain in rookie style how I managed to get some progress. So my problem was that when electrode touches the profile, then it just sticks and you can't work with that. So instead, what I tried to do and what gave me some results was that I started to doing like trying to make some spark like so, and then it is like feeling, if you feel that okay, now it's gonna start to weld, then you need to lift up little bit, like 1 millimeter from this profile. And this is really tricky. Like you need to keep it about 1 millimeter from profile, because it is tricky because here is steel inside and this is melting. So we need all time like slowly to keep this distance. And yeah, very tricky, but doable. And also what I have here some file, and sometimes you need to clean this tip like so to start again. Okay, after some 1 or 2 hours practice, I made some progress, and here what is the result. I am very satisfied about this quality. For beginner, it's very good. Also, I welded one more time these ones. It was good for practicing. So what I done was that I regulated amperage to 120. So I got enough heat, and then this quality went very good. Yesterday I also tried higher than 100 amperes, but it didn't work because I didn't have this feeling in hand. Stick just sticks with material. So here I tapped 1 and 2nd. So I am waiting while this is cooling down, and then I can make some nice weld, which I will show you here also. Like so. Now I grinded with angle grinder excess metal off, and this is my final product. So next step is to drill with perforator hole here, and I'm gonna use this anchor. And remember to lubricate your drill bits before you use it with perforator. Now I made the marks with the laser, and I will cut them here and here off, and then put this profile on these profiles and anchor to the wall. Okay, now I have everything ready for welding. So my plan is to make here some nice spot, so then I can take clamps off and weld it nicely. Same here. Here I have small issues with anchor, so I needed to make new anchor point, and because of that I have here small gap, so I need to make here a bit different technique of welding. Let's try if I can make this. So okay, I think that I have made pretty good work here. I can see that this metal is heated into the profile, and the result is pretty much strong. And if I fill here and here also, then it will for sure hold what it needs to hold. So this place is a little bit difficult because I need short electrode, so like a bit shorter, then I can like get the cess here. But this is pretty easy, this part here actually. And also on this another side, here I have very clean weld. I think that I will grind it off from the outer side, and here I need to make some more welds. Overall, work is progressing very nice. So, I used temporarily this profile to make it level. And then I cut here 45 degrees. Everything is nice, ready to weld. Like so. Yeah, cool. Later I will grind this excess weld off and hopefully it will be nice and smooth. Good morning, guys. Yesterday it was raining, so overnight some rust came. So I will take this brush and brush this rust off, and then I will show you my welds. Now I cleaned a bit joints and check these out. This is very beautiful weld here. Other welds are not so nice, but most important thing is that this is strong and it is holding very well. And here we had this 3mm gap, and this turned out also pretty nice. I will grind this part off. Here I think not, and this part also. Also I will grind off here and here. And this, but I will do this at the finish, at the end, when all this fence is ready. Yesterday I drove a project, and here you can see this will be here, this lower will be there, and this will be here. So if you work according to plan, then everything is smoother and nicer. So next step is to weld these lower profiles. Guys, be careful with cutting the profile. If the weight press here, then you can see this disc can be stuck and then easily broke. And when flex is having some 11,000 RPMs, then these pieces are very, very dangerous. So always wear your protective mask, and maybe even with glasses plus mask, and then ears also. And correct way is to make here support, so it will not have weight here. Or just turn it around and cut here. Seems that one rest day affected well, because these connections are very nice. Especially this second one. With this I am very satisfied. Okay, let's continue. So I will show you the system. Because of these profiles are 4 meters long, then they are little bit bending in on their weight. So they are like smiling a little bit. So I placed one profile temporarily to support this. And then here I used magnets, and without this support These magnets didn't hold this profile in place. Now it is pretty nice. I can make some joint here. Good morning, guys! So yesterday I grinded around 1.5 hours and the result is pretty nice. I like what I see. And here are more profiles, so I need 6 profiles. Weld here and then again grind off, and then in some places I need to use weld again to fill this crack and then grind again, make it more nicer. But anyway, this wall construction is very solid and it is holding very good. So this is just some cosmetical issue. So I can see already finish. So here you can see that this joint need filling, and this is pretty nice. I am satisfied with that. If you want perfect result, then you can put metal putty here and then grind it off, or just like I do, weld once again and then grind off. Okay guys, it is evening and I am super tired, but I am super happy because everything is prepared, and now next step is painting. So what I done, I grinded with this disc. Actually this disc is amazing how long lasting it is, because with one disc I made all this project, and I grinded with this disc around 3 hours together, I think. So I grinded all these joints off. Then I grinded with this one, like this upper. Very long work to work with this. Then I brushed all these joints, rust off. Here you can see my gloves are completely destroyed because of grinding with angle grinder. Then I used gasoline and then I cleaned. And now I am ready to paint. I bought hammerite. It is here is written that you can paint it straight to the rust. So I just will put this paint on with this, and I don't know if this is a proper way. Maybe there needs some other things to do before painting this, but this is how I will do, and I will see how long it will last. Okay, let's start to paint. Now this project is finished and I am super happy about the final result, although it took way more time than I planned. If you are starting your first do-it-yourself project, then try to avoid thin materials. This profile is 3 mm thick and there was plenty of room for mistakes. 2 mm, I think I could waste more time, and the result is not so nice. Now before you start welding, check for the cable connections on negative and on positive cables, here and on the welding machine. I had one issue with this, because this cable just fall off, so I needed to cut it shorter, unscrew here and then make a new connection. So always check if connections are good. If your welding material is too thick and you can't clamp it, and you need to use separate clamps for mass, then try to avoid something like this. This negative connection is very poor. Instead, find something like this. And also grind here and here old dust off, and also connection grind here a little bit, and then you have a proper negative connection. So my 2.5 mm thick rod, according to internet, needed around 70 to 100 amps, but for me worked best 120 amps. So don't be afraid to use more amps than you find on the instructions. I think that these Chinese welders are actually lying, and if here is 120 amps, then actually it is somewhere around 100. This is what I think, but I don't have these measuring instruments. With 130 amps, it burned too heavily, and this work was not so nice. And with 110 it was very hard time to find this constant spark. So it worked for me around 120, and 115 somewhere there is for me very nice. But all machines are different, and find what is working for you with your machine. Now the technique which worked for me the best was that at beginning I was very softly trying to scratch but not touch the profile, and then when some sparks came, then I just warmed up this rod a bit, and then it's like a feeling, and then if you feel okay, now it is starting to spark, and then when it started, then it's all about skills to hold this weld. So if you have a hard time with sticking your rod, then just try not to touch the profile. Just softly try to play with that. And if you have a feeling in your hand, then you already understand when it is right time to keep this spark in place. So it's very tricky, and you need to practice very many hours. And if you have two metal pieces and you want to weld them together, so you make weld here and then grind it off, then it can happen that here is no good connection because you didn't melt this enough. Instead, if you have two metals, then make here like angle with angle grinder, and then if you weld and then you grind off, then you have here this filling material, and this crack will not be visible. But the correct way is of course to melt these two metals together. But if you are rookie, then maybe you are working too fast, and then here is not enough heat to melt together these metals. But here you have like bigger chance to get nice result. And the most important thing, of course, is motivation. As you've seen from this video, then I could easily give up from the first day when I tried welding because it didn't went according to plan. Remember, be self-confident and don't be afraid of trying new things. If you are motivated enough, then you can do everything, no matter what work it is. Even if there is some welding schools and guys are learning this some 3 years, I think, then you can do it for your home purpose alone without learning. Only watching some YouTube videos, and that's all. If you think that you want to do this, then of course do it. Okay, thanks everybody for watching this long video, and I am very happy to share my experience. Okay, see you in some next video. Thanks.